This is KCBD News Channel 11's Daybreak Today.
Now at 6, Texas Tech University is working to make things right after thousands of students had personal information accidentally leaked. Plus, former President Trump is indicted in a hush money case, why one Republican says he should drop out of the presidential race. And at least 32 people are dead after several storms tore through the U.S. over the weekend. We will pinpoint the states that haven't seen the last of it. Good morning to you. I'm Angie Wynn. Thanks for starting your day with us. We'll get to all of that in a moment, as well as your forecast with Steve Devine. But first, Michael Cantu, what you got going over there?
Good morning, Angie. Well, we're updating a story on a Russian cafe bombing we were talking about last hour, and some layoffs are in the forecast for one of the most well-known burger chains in the world. But for now, let's turn to Steve, get a check of the weather. Morning, Steve.
Good morning. Starting off pretty mild this morning with fair skies showing up here locally. No storm system that would bring us any precipitation in sight. However, we do have a system that's going to be bringing us some wind. It's going to get on the windy side this afternoon. Now, right now with our fair skies, we have a breeze that's pretty close to about 10 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. In fact, still 59 over at Childress. Plainview is 43. Lubbock now over on the at the airport, excuse me, is 45. Loveland is 48. So 45 degrees here in Lubbock at the moment. It's chilly, but it's going to get really warm this afternoon. Temperatures in the 60s. It's also going to get windy. Expecting a sustained wind around 20 to 30. Some gusts greater than 40 miles per hour will be possible. With our sunny sky, may have some patchy blowing dust. Certainly the wildfire danger goes up, but tomorrow will be much windier. So I'll be talking about what we're expecting there coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll check in again shortly. Thank you, Steve. The Department of Public Safety is searching this morning for the driver involved in a deadly hit and run that happened over the weekend. According to a preliminary investigation, an unknown driver was headed southwest on Highway 6282 when they hit 35-year-old Norma Borjas. Her body was found early Sunday morning between Lubbock and Idalou. Investigators say the driver left the scene of the crash, and if you have information about who might have been involved, you are asked to call the Lubbock Police Department. Also over the weekend, a Lubbock man and a teenager were killed in a crash. This was on Highway 84 near Southland. Investigators say 35-year-old Juan Bartolo Garcia was headed east Saturday morning when the vehicle left the roadway. Reports show that he drove through a curve, hitting a median, and rolled. Garcia's 16-year-old passenger died at the scene. Garcia was taken to UMC, where he later died. Making international headlines, an arrest has been made after a Russian cafe bombing. Michael is bringing us the latest from the News Now desk. Michael.
Good morning, Angie. Well, an update from last hour. Russia is now placing the blame on Ukraine. Earlier this morning, Russian authorities arrested 26-year-old Ukrainian Daria Tryapova. Now, she's accused of planting a bomb that killed a pro-war Russian blogger. Authorities say Vladimir Tarkovsky, that blogger, was leading a discussion yesterday in St. Petersburg, Russia. They say the suspect, Tryapova, gifted him a bust of himself that had a bomb in it. Now, that bombing wounded more than 30 people. Russian authorities are now saying this was a planned attack by Ukraine's military. Angie?
Thanks, Michael. Here at home, personal information for thousands of students in Texas Tech's College of Engineering was accidentally emailed to thousands of students. The information sent out Friday included names, student ID numbers, and home addresses, as well as academic information, including intended graduation dates. Texas Tech says the data did not include sensitive information like social security numbers or HIPAA-protected information. The email was recalled, and the university is now working to reduce the impact of the disclosure. Former President Trump is set to travel tonight from Florida to New York City because he will be arraigned tomorrow on criminal charges. This is from the investigation into hush money payments to an adult film star. The Secret Service and New York police are stepping up security with road closures expected all along the route to the courthouse in Manhattan.
What I hope is that we get in and out of there as quickly as possible, that it's, at the end of the day, a typical arraignment where we stand before the judge, we say not guilty.
After his arraignment, Trump plans to deliver remarks in a primetime address from his Florida home. While many Republicans are questioning the indictment, the former governor of Arkansas is calling for him to drop out of the race for the White House.
If we're looking at the presidency and the future of our country, then we don't need that distraction, and he needs to be able to concentrate on the legal issues that he faces.
Hutchinson announced he is running for the Republican nomination for president. Michael?
Angie, right now the Wall Street Journal reports McDonald's may be getting ready for layoffs. Reports indicate the company may be temporarily closing its U.S. offices this week. Now, ahead of official announcements, all in-person meetings are canceled with the vendors. Any cuts would be in its corporate staffing, though there's a possibility some of the layoff announcements could come as soon as today. Angie?
Thank you, Michael. At least 32 people are dead as brutal storms move across the U.S. President Biden is pledging help from the federal government, while forecasters are warning the severe weather isn't over yet. Amy Kiley has the latest.
Dangerous weather continues moving across the U.S., leaving behind a trail of destruction and death. This video shows hail falling near Dallas. Today, that storm system pushing through Louisiana.
This is just an unbelievably tragic moment for our state.
At least 5 people are dead after a twister hit Arkansas over the weekend.
We have activated the National Guard in the hardest hit areas of the state.
Just across the state line, Tennessee reports at least 15 deaths, with one in Alabama and another in Mississippi. The weather isn't sparing the north either.
3 individuals have lost their lives in the tornadoes that came through Crawford County.
Illinois communities are reeling from tornadoes. At least 5 people are dead due to severe weather in Indiana, with another fatality in Delaware. Now, a snowstorm is moving across northern states, and it could bring a spring blizzard to South Dakota.
If anybody has learned a lesson, it is that when those alerts come in, we need to take them seriously.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And we are checking in on local weather across the South Plains with Steve Devine. He has his eye on several things for you, and the wind being one of those, right, Steve? Good morning.
It is. We are looking at some wind coming our way today, and especially tomorrow. This is just a quick look at the overall picture going on. And yes, that is snow, northern Nevada, across Wyoming into the northern plains. But this is the area that we're looking at for some severe weather potentially for today. The darker green areas indicate where some of the storms may become marginally severe. Again, hail up to about an inch in diameter, wind gusts greater than 40 miles per hour, perhaps close to 60 miles per hour. The slight risk area, this is a little greater potential for some severe storms, but satellite view right now showing the storms actually just a little bit north of that area and intensifying right there, that line that's in between Jackson and Montgomery, right along the Mississippi-Alabama state line area. So as we go through the day, we'll see that activity intensifying just a little bit. Back here, generally sunny skies on the way for us, except for the possibility of some patchy blowing dust as our winds begin to kick up. Now, right now, the winds are not too bad, still just close to 10 miles per hour, 45 degrees with a clear sky. Dew points are low. That's a measure of how much moisture is in the air, or in this case, isn't in the air. It's a really dry air mass. So with the low relative humidity and the warmth that's coming up today, warmest day of the year so far with Lubbock at 88, the ongoing drought, we are looking at an elevated wildfire danger coming up for us today, and the winds tomorrow will be even stronger. Overnight low temperatures still pretty mild, a few 40s over the western northern parts of the viewing area. Lubbock tomorrow morning at about 51 degrees. So coming up this afternoon, it does get windy. Gusts greater than 40 miles per hour will be possible today, 88 degrees, patchy blowing dust, otherwise sunny. Now tomorrow the winds are going to be quite strong. It's going to be one of our high wind events, if you will. Gusts greater than 70 miles per hour possible, widespread blowing dust and low visibility, and extreme wildfire danger with the ongoing drought. High temperature about 78 degrees. By the way, this will be a westerly wind, so if you're on, for instance, Interstate 27, Highway 87, that wind will be broadsiding your vehicle. That'll make it quite difficult to control. Both hands on the steering wheel. Less wind and cooler temperatures will close out the work week following that big wind tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Steve. It is 6:08 on your Monday morning. Still to come on Daybreak today, one widow is carrying on her husband's legacy here in Lubbock by giving haircuts to those in need. Plus, Quantum Leap premieres its season finale tonight. We'll hear from the series star about his experiences on and off the set, plus what's to come for the show. We'll be right back. You're watching Daybreak today on KCBD News Channel 11.